Welcome back to the channel, guys. So it's safe to say Ubisoft haven't had the best time in the last couple of years following a series of scandals, a number of cancelled projects, controversial AI which writes NPC dialogue itself, and most recently a challenging year of losses and few releases. However, recent news, it looks like Ubisoft is ready to go big or go home with the Assassin's Creed franchise over the coming years, and it really needs to. In the last year alone, its only major releases were Mario & Rabbids Sparks of Hope, Just Dance 2023 and Rocksmith Plus. This has caused the net sales to be a whopping $1.97 billion down from the previous year, and its overall operating loss was $554 million. Things aren't going well in the money side of things. The Assassin's Creed side of Ubisoft, however, isn't doing too badly at all. As of their earnings report released on the 16th of May, they reported that they will have a record number of users playing Assassin's Creed games, despite not releasing a major game since Valhalla back in 2020. As of the release of that report, it currently had 44% more players live to date than Assassin's Creed Origins, and 19% more than Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so obviously there's plenty of money to be made in the series yet. And it appears that is exactly where Ubisoft is going to be aiming for over the coming years. In the earnings report released just last week, they've announced they are going to have a restructure which will increase the headcount on Assassin's Creed titles by a whopping 40% in the coming years, and this is, and I quote, to fuel its ambitious expansion. But why do Ubisoft want or need to increase their Assassin's Creed team by a whole 40%? Well, let's look ahead to the years ahead. As it stands, Assassin's Creed Mirage is the next major installment in the franchise, which is set to release later this year, and that's not all. This expansion must be deemed necessary not only because the money Assassin's Creed games bring in is huge, but also because over the coming years we're going to be seeing a lot of new Assassin's Creed games and content. Ubisoft had already announced other major titles that they'll be releasing, and the first of them is known as Codename Red, which is set in Japan. It has let us live out our very own powerful shinobi fantasy, and it has been described as a future of open world RPG Assassin's Creed games. So with Codename Red, you can probably expect a similar gameplay style to that of Valhalla, Odyssey and Origins, with possibly a hint of Ghost of Tsushima thrown in for good measure, and that is certainly not a bad thing. Next up on already announced titles is the currently named Assassin's Creed Hex, which is proposed to be a very different type of Assassin's Creed game, and the details on this are so very limited, but we do know that the developers behind Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Ubisoft Montreal, and former Watch Dogs Legion creative director Clint Hocking will be leading the production of this game. I'm curious to see what becomes of Codename Hex, considering they claim it's going to be very different to previous Assassin's Creed titles, and we already had a major shift in gameplay styles from the major installments when Origins and subsequently Odyssey and Valhalla were released. So, what are you expecting with Hex? Let me know in the comments below. So, the third and final Assassin's Creed game so far announced beyond Mirage as of the creation of this video is Assassin's Creed Jade. This is going to see Ubisoft venture into the open world on mobile, and they say they're going to try and build an authentic Assassin's Creed experience which is optimised for touchscreen controls. So far it is said that Codename Jade is going to be set in China in the year 215 BC, which means we'll get to parkour on top of the Great Wall. And it'll certainly be the first game in the series when you can create your own assassin from scratch, which is a nice touch as well because we've yet to have that. On top of those previously mentioned games, Assassin's Creed Infinity is also on the list of redevelopments by Ubisoft. This is a bit more difficult to explain as it isn't exactly a game, but more like a platform that's going to connect Assassin's Creed Red and Assassin's Creed Hex together, and it seems like it's going to be a single point of entry for fans heading into future Assassin's Creed games beyond the ones I've already mentioned. You can probably think of Assassin's Creed Infinity as anonymous from the games, but you use it to launch video games instead. I think it's a pretty neat idea, so I'm interested to see how this turns out. Are you looking forward to Assassin's Creed Infinity? Let me know in the comments below. Given that a 40% headcount increase is substantial, especially given the existing size of Ubisoft's current Assassin's Creed team, and the fact that the previously mentioned games in Assassin's Creed Infinity have already been announced to the public for a good amount of time, do you think this means there are even more games we've yet to hear about in the pipeline, or do you think most of this increase in size is to cover the already announced titles and platforms? I'm curious to hear your thoughts, so let me know in the comments below. So, as you can see with the announcement that Ubisoft is expanding its headcount on the Assassin's Creed franchise by a whopping 40% over the coming months and years, it certainly looks like the future of Assassin's Creed is going to be great, and it's going to be even bigger than what we've had over the last 15 or so years. And personally for me, that is exciting news because I've really enjoyed every single Assassin's Creed game, even though some of the games weren't perfect and had their own flaws. So does this news around Ubisoft greatly expanding its Assassin's Creed teams excite you as much as it does me? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're still here, it would be totally awesome if you could support my channel by hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next news video.